PR Connections Radio presents
Welcome to the Crypto and Cash Show. I hope everybody has been well. Well, we've been really great, but we've been really crazy busy, but we wanted to just get back into the swing of things and come with a live podcast today. I'm with my partner, Bret over there. Bret is the man. Bret Jenny is the ultimate, not only crypto expert, but he's also one of the top realtors in the Las Vegas area. So if you have people moving to Las Vegas or you know someone getting ready to list their home, they want to sell it, you're talking to the right people over here because Bret is the man. He is awesome. I'm telling you, man. He's also a star on YouTube, TikTok. He's a star on Instagram. His audience is growing like crazy. So again, but we're here to talk a little bit of what's going on in the crypto world, because things are going to be happening beyond expectations in the next 3 to 4 months as we transpose over to the digital dollar. Most of you don't know what that is, but we're going to talk about that. What's happening, Bret?
Man, I tell you, times are a-changing. There is a lot that's not only been happening with you and I, and being busy, but in the world in general, man. A lot of crazy things going on, and that's about all I can say on that, I guess. I was reading an article with Edward Snowden. Well, not reading an article, but I was watching a YouTube video, and Edward Snowden had spoke at the Bitcoin conference.
Okay.
And he was just saying how Bitcoin was initially created for privacy. And that was the center focus with the community and developing that.
Right.
And through the years, we've kind of found out that Bitcoin can be tracked and it's not as private as you want it to be. And people are very much just focused on the speculation of it or the price fluctuation of it.
Right.
And so now not only are you starting to have somewhat of a shift back to focusing on what it was really about to begin with, because CBDs are coming out. But at the same point, here's what you're going to see, which is kind of a lot of the bad actors that have been bringing down crypto for the past year and a half are basically getting flushed out of the system as we speak.
Right.
The last great one is Sam Bankman-Fried trial. That he'll be found guilty. He'll go off to prison, whatever it is. He's going to be done. And now, most importantly, is you're going to see ETFs that are going to start getting approved.
Right.
BlackRock, Fidelity are probably the two main ones. And why that's important is now that it will be approved as an ETF, that means that these companies or these hedge funds will actually have to buy Bitcoin. It's not just trading on the futures of it, kind of like the way that it is now. Is it going to go up? Is it going to go down? You don't have to actually buy it to be able to basically predict on it as of right now. So, but when these institutions and these hedge funds worth billions, if not trillions, have to actually physically buy it in order for offer to you to trade to you or for you to buy, and there's only going to be a few of them. And there's going to be serious money injected in it. So you take in a combination of the ETFs that are going to be approved and these hedge funds having to have to buy it, and a combination of the bad actors that are basically out of the system now, we're on the path forward, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I was talking to my buddy, and I'm never going to tell anybody to trade on here or to invest in something you don't know about, but it's at about 30,000 right now. And very realistically, once that first ETF gets approved, I mean, that could be a week, it could be a few days, it could be a month, whatever it is. It's right on the very verge right now. You can see Bitcoin going from 30,000 to 50,000 easily.
Quickly.
Cool, very quickly.
Yes.
Because guess who's buying it now? Hedge funds.
That's right.
A lot of money, like real buyers. And then you've got the whole fear of missing out of okay, we're past We're past the downward momentum of it. We've got the bad actors out.
Yep.
We've needed regulation. We've got that now. Let's go.
Wow. Speaking of that, Bret, I wanted everybody to know that our show is strictly for educational and purposes. We're not here to encourage you guys to trade. We encourage you to understand and learn. That's our main platform. It's a learning platform for you to soak up information, because all of you are going to need to know what the basics are of Bitcoin, crypto, etc. The whole metaverse world, the NFTs, all of that. Blockchain technology is at the base of everything I just spoke about. And what better person to have it than my own partner in crime over here, who has been involved with this longer than I have. I'm here to help the safety and promote the safety for baby boomers. Excuse me, so they don't get caught into one of these scams, because there's a lot of scams out there. But if you learn the information that we've got here, you can't get hurt. So
that's why I never give any specific platforms to use or anything like that, because I don't want to go there with anything. I always tell people I'm here for the technology of it, which is blockchain. And just so people kind of understand the importance of blockchain, there's people that I have in a few of these networking groups that I've blocked. Do you know who Niles Henson is?
I think I do.
You might have met him at a few of the
Dave's house.
Yeah. Anyways, long and short of it is, so he literally created MTV. He literally created CMT. He created the Home Shopping Network. He created Nickelodeon. Like, he was the first to take cable technology, right?
Wow.
And really create these things. And the reason why was because cable technology was a new form of technology at the time. But the problem was a lot of cities did not want to pay to have the infrastructure put in. Why? The great news about cable TV at the time was that you now had like up to 999 channels, theoretically. And before, you only had the main stations, NBC, ABC, things like that. But the problem is, in order to allow everyone's television to access those 999 channels, you need a whole infrastructure built in. But there's no channels. So why would you spend millions of dollars at an infrastructure put in on something that has like no value yet, because there's no channels, which is where Nile came into play. So he's like, I've got all these channels, and the only way to get people to use this is to create, and there was literally nobody doing these channels. So he said, hey, you know what? I should come up with a kid show. Boom, came up with Nickelodeon. Then he's like, man, I've always been a huge music fan. And then you saw a video, and it was like, hey, and then he came up with MTV, things like that. But the long and short of it is this, which is he feels, I've met him through blockchain networks. And he started a whole company now called Technotainment, which is based off of user experience and on blockchain. And his own words, he said, I feel like I was lucky enough in my lifetime to have Halley's Comet come one time, when I was in the right place at the right person to do cable technology. And this guy's 74 years old. He's made more than enough money. He could retire. And he said, I feel like with blockchain, it's a second Halley's Comet within my lifetime. How lucky am I, Bret? Is what he said to me. And when I have somebody like that tell me, it's something, right? So it's complete transparency. It's complete security. And most importantly, the easiest way is to say that blockchain allows you to facilitate data and value without needing a middleman, right? I just had a conversation with a guy this morning who basically was like, I missed my window to refi a year ago because I came in just a little bit under of what the IRS wanted. And by the time he got it all together, it's like it was a 2 or 3 week process to do, and he had missed his window. But blockchain allows you to be able to get that value or transfer the value of your ownership to get that money out of it into something without needing to wait on a system, without needing to wait on a person to do all that stuff. Does that make sense? You can do it instantaneously, and it's completely secure and transparent. That's what it allows you to do. Oh, I can't hear you, Dan.
I got something caught in my
There you
throat.
go.
Had something caught in my throat. I don't want to keep coughing on the show. But
Oh, okay, sorry.
yeah, no problem. But again, that's amazing that somebody that with that, that's been there, done that, recognizes, this guy sounds like a pretty brilliant guy. And if it's amazing that he sees the value of blockchain technology, where most of the world is ignorant to the value of blockchain technology. If you're in the space, you understand it. But if you just like
that's the thing. Like if you're in the space and you talk to you get it. You understand. Like you're like, this thing can't be stopped.
No,
because of the importance and value it brings to the world. It just can't.
Yeah. But even people that are fair to middling, they think they know, but they don't really know. They're going to be in. A lot of people, man, are going to be left in the dust because those of us that position ourselves to, to really be involved with this technology, man, have a pretty bright future, is what I can say.
Yeah. You and I are fortunate because we have a natural interest in things like this.
Yes, it's exciting.
So how I got into all of it was just I was absolutely fascinated by it.
Yeah, me too.
When I first heard about Bitcoin, I was like, this has value. How? Like I was just absolutely, intrigued, just absolutely fascinated by it, which led me down many different rabbit holes and to blockchain technology, which is the basis behind it all.
Right.
And then you're like, okay, let's just remove Bitcoin and crypto from it. Let's just look at the technology behind it and what it does. And that's how you need to look at it. So if anybody wants to invest, there's a lot of different things going on. But you just literally need to go to probably the top 25 coins on any crypto chart and look into what they do.
Right.
Because they should each be doing and solving a problem. It should be I create a blockchain to solve a problem that doesn't even really exist yet.
Right. Hey, Bret, I have a question for you. What you just said, for somebody that is just really crypto curious or blockchain curious, if they went on CoinMarketCap or one of those that has the top 500 and they just looked at the top 25, right? How say it's Polygon or Matic or I don't know, Bitcoin or Ethereum, whatever. How would someone that's new to the industry, once they go in there and see what it is now, how would you suggest for them to take the next step to learn about the technology behind it?
The great thing about something like CoinMarketCap.com, CoinMarketCap.com is you can lay out, say, the top 25. It goes all the way down to whatever, but the top 25, you can literally click on each one and all the information you're going to want to know as far as the company's website, different articles, and then what exchanges you can buy it on and trade it on if you want to, what the exchanges do, the whole 9 yards.
Right.
All the top 25, for the most part, I think should be on something basic like Coinbase. So if you're a very, very, not to mention platforms specifically, I'm not endorsing anything, but that's how I started because it's the by far the easiest laid out platform that there is.
Yeah.
Like it's laid out where you can't mess it up.
Right. Yeah.
And that's what you need when you get into something. So and that's fine, right? Holding it on there. So but that's what I would do. It's just going to coinmarketcap.com, click on say the top 25 and see what they do.
Right.
Like read about what the companies do. I've talked about it before, Chainlink, which is LINK, link. This is an oracle that takes everything that exists right now for data in the current internet state that we have right now. And it's a portal that allows you to take that information and put it onto blockchain onto Web3.
Wow.
think about how much stuff exists in the world right now in current Web 2 on the internet that will eventually need to be put into Web 3 and the blockchain. Everything. Their company allows you to do that. So, a company like that would probably say it's going to do pretty well. And if you look further into them, they have out of any cryptocurrency out there, that company has a ton of patents, a ton of contracts. They're at the cutting edge of everything. Banks, another thing they're going to do is they're coming out with like a blockchain app store, so that a bank can sit there and go to this, buy a blockchain, and basically essentially create and use their own blockchain. Why? Because then a bank doesn't have to be reliant on somebody else's blockchain. They don't have to pay someone else's fees.
Right.
And Chainlink is going to allow banks to do this. So things like that, you're probably going to say, well, these guys are probably just going to start going. I remember when they started out at 50 cents, and the last bull run, they went up to $55.
Whoa, my God.
From 50 cents, and now it's down to like $8. So,
Well,
but just things like that. Do your homework. Do your own due diligence.
Yeah, absolutely, you guys. And, that's what we were very encouraged to hear that more and more people are starting to join us a bit. But, Bret, I think the down period in the last 2 years discouraged a lot of people, especially the regular person that may have got in and, their stuff either went down or it's just stayed the same. But that particular person, for those that hung on like us, because we see what's going to go down the road, hopefully everybody don't be afraid of it. Just embrace it. Just, get back into it, man. Just learn more than anything.
Yeah, don't stick any money into it. Just go learn about blockchain. Learn about different use cases. It's really cool. Like, I'm not a computer. Like, I always tell people, I'm like, I barely know a computer. So it's funny that I'm like, people associate me with like this computer world, and it's not. I mean, I guess it's forefront of technology, but it's not. Like, I don't view it that way. You know what I mean? I view it as the utilities of what it does for humans and solve human problems, including business.
Speaking of that, man, did you see when we were at the Breeze convention? Did you see that AI robot that was going around?
Yeah. What was her name?
I don't know, but that was the most amazing thing. Yes.
Yeah.
And I was on I think it was Instagram or TikTok. I saw AI playing against two guys in table tennis, and they could not beat this AI. They couldn't beat it, man. I was like, whoa.
Well, here's what I always explain to people: AI, so human beings are made up of numbers.
Yeah.
Our biological systems, our thought patterns, our behavioral patterns. That's trading charts.
Right.
Is charting human behavior. Right?
Yeah.
And so that can be broken down into every infinite stage of a human being.
Yes.
And so AI can connect those dots and do the math on everything, including what I'm talking about, at lightning speed, a lot faster than any human ever could.
Man, I was looking at something. Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was looking at it, and it says, I forgot what I was reading, but they were saying that AI is going to replace in 5 years 54% of the current jobs that are out there. You think that's true?
I don't know. I mean, it's not out of reach to say that, but I would be more interested in not studying that so much, because there's a lot of factors that can still come into play on that. But I would be more interested in studying the last time that we had a dramatic shift. And in a landscape like this, right? So let's go back, like horse and buggy and cars. I mean, there were thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of people, whether it's stables or horse products or carriages or whatever it was that went out of business within the boom of cars within like a 5 or 6 year period.
Right.
So I would be more interested in studying that and what resulted out of that and what were the true facts that came out of that.
Right.
What was the adoption rate? How long did it take? Did you have a decrease in poverty or an uptick in poverty? What was like, because being humans and our behaviors always going to be the same, right? In some shape or form. That's what I'd be interested in studying. So, I mean, it's realistic.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's like anything. Like AI, and like it's kind of like Web3 right now. People, the companies who succeed in Web3 right now are the companies who have figured out how to have consumers use Web3 without knowing they're using Web3.
Okay.
Right?
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
So that's the key. So we need to get to that point. And if you're to that point, it's kind of like saying, well, Dan, could you imagine in 2000, in the year 2000, could you imagine the iPhone and everything that you do right now in your iPhone? Hey, Dan, in 2000, hey, Dan, what was an app? What was an app store? Right? iPhone came out in 2007. By 2012, every 5 years, everybody's life is on an iPhone.
Yep, that's right.
So, there's people that were able to capitalize off of understanding what was happening and that technology and making money. And then there's people who kept on doing the same thing. So I don't know what the end result's going to be as far as who loses a job and who doesn't. But I think where it's really going to start the most are positions like middlemen, like realtors. My job, for instance.
Yeah.
I think this is my personal opinion. If you have a job that you have to explain to somebody what your value is,
see you later.
It's going to change for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I always believe in customer service can't replace anything, because
that's true.
The complaint I have about all these damn Web3 companies and everything else, which is their customer service is absolutely horrible.
Terrible.
Oh, you're holding up $20,000 of my funds and I need to fill out a ticket? When you get back to what? Well, you explain this to any older adult that's had any amount of achieving anything in life, and that's not acceptable. And that's something that all these companies are horrible at. Right. So any company that can really nail that for customer service in the future will have a slam dunk, man. I'm telling you.
Absolutely. Wow. All right. Well, you know what, man? I need to reach out. I'm going to call you right after this is over with.
Yeah.
I'm going to call you in a couple minutes. I think that, just us getting back on the air live again, it's been a while. You had some family issues and, hopefully that's all taken care of. Everybody is good. And I've been crazy busy as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to cut it a little short today. I've got a couple appointments coming up and I need to reach out to Bret. But we want to thank you and we want to encourage you to come back next week so you can listen to us live. It's in 2 weeks and we'll be here. We'll make a commitment to be here live on the next one. So we want to make sure we can help educate you. So Bret, my friend, I'm going to reach out in a minute. Any final thoughts?
No, I appreciate everybody watching. We were pretty busy there for about a month, but we're back live, finish out the year strong. So appreciate everybody watching. Hopefully you can learn something, or hopefully we're giving you value.
There we go. Okay. Well, thanks everybody. Enjoy your week.